Boyfriend with another girl, dream meaning. If you see a dream image of your boyfriend with another female, what does it mean? We automatically assume that this is cheating, and let's face it, this is one of those kinds of dreams that will definitely get under your skin. A lot of your vulnerabilities, insecurities, and doubts about your relationship and even yourself will be exposed. Cheating dreams about our significant other is one of the most common dreams to have, believe it or not. Keep this in mind. It's not just you. A lot of people have these types of dreams. Such dreams can indicate that your subconscious mind is having anxieties about your partner in real life or the quality of your relationship with that person. Boyfriend with another girl cheating dream indicates a tremendous sense of insecurity. Now, please understand that this underlying issue of insecurity that manifests in your dream doesn't mean that there's something necessarily wrong with you or your romance. Maybe you haven't known each other all that long, or you just didn't notice certain things about him that you can't quite put your finger on now. A lot of this is natural because as you get to know each other, you get to see different sides of your personalities. A lot of your personal stories start coming out. And not all of this would be pleasant, especially if you come from totally different backgrounds or you have different experiences from each other. So, in this context, it's perfectly natural to feel insecure about yourself and your relationship and have that manifest in your dreams. But this doesn't necessarily mean that you have low self esteem, nor does it mean that there's something necessarily wrong with you as a person. What would make it a problem is when you constantly worry and feel insecure about your relationship. It doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter when it happens, you're just insecure about relationships, period. You may be asking questions like, am I good enough for this person? Or is this person good enough for me? What else don't I know about this person? Alternatively, you might be even be asking, how can I screw this up? Or what does he need to do to screw this up? A lot of the time, we take the baggage that we have developed from the past and all our guilt, missed opportunities, and regrets and bring them to our current relationships. That is the real problem. Sometimes we try to hold our new romantic partner to an impossible standard. It's as if all the mistakes of past lovers need to be corrected by your newest flame. Given this context, it's no surprise that a lot of women have this feeling of insecurity when they wake up from a dream about their partners cheating on them. It gets even worse when we're talking about somebody that you married. Cheating spouse dreams point to larger real life relationship problems. A cheating spouse dream may mean that you have deep and profound insecurities and fears that you feel are harder to fix. When you're with a boyfriend, you can easily call it off. You can break things off and come up with a new boyfriend. It's as simple as picking up the phone and making a clean break. Sure, it's going to hurt. And there's probably going to be times that you're going to doubt yourself. You might even feel lonely. But it's totally different from marriage and divorce. The good news is that as emotionally traumatic and possibly tiring these cheating dreams can be, they don't necessarily have to happen in reality. You can use such a dream to practice your intuition and attention to detail. If you dream about a particular person that you caught cheating and you are somehow able to uncover the hidden truth about this infidelity, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go through that heartbreak in your waking life. It can be the boyfriend of your close friend. It can be your parents. What this means is that you have a strong intuition and that you have to cultivate that strong sixth sense. This doesn't take place with just one cheating dream. Oftentimes, the real boyfriend with another girl dream interpretation involves your intuition waking up. It's as if you're finally able to connect the dots and you're able to see what other people can't see. I'm not talking about magic here. I'm talking about simple personal attention to detail. Also, what you've actually discovered in the real world may not have anything to do with cheating, infidelity, or something similar. Instead, it might just be a deep and profound sensitivity to details that people often overlook or are just simply too busy to figure out. You might be able to get to the bottom of things when it comes to money, trustworthiness, as far as friendships go, that kind of thing. There are different types of meanings for cheating dreams. You have to look at the context when it comes to dream interpretation. This applies across the board. It doesn't really matter what the central theme or motif of your dream may be. Figuring out what the boyfriend with another girl dream signifies is not exempt from this. So, what should you look for? Pay close attention to the following contextual motifs. To dream about your boyfriend, girlfriend with another girl. This cheating dream means that you need to strengthen the bond that you have with your boyfriend or girlfriend. It means that you are in a cool down phase. This happens. In fact, even in perfectly healthy relationships, this happens. You can't just have a relationship where every single second with that person is some sort of intense, torrid romance novel. It doesn't work that way. So understand the pacing of your relationship. This is completely natural. In many relationships, you reach a point where things become routine. It's as if you're just going through the motions with that person. It's as if it will take a lot for you to be surprised by your partner because deep down inside, you feel that you finally figured them out. You have to be very careful when you reach this mindset because at the end of the day, the relationship is beginning to suffer because you feel that there's really nothing else left to discover about that special person in your life. This is when cheating dreams can arise and push you towards a greater level of curiosity regarding your relationship. Again, cheating dreams doesn't necessarily involve heartbreak. You may just be pushed by your subconscious to find certain areas in your life that maybe overlap with that other person so you can have something in common to dig through. Relationships aren't meant to stagnate or be routine. The bottom line is you should value your connections, whatever form they take, and allow yourself to be truly in tune with each other's emotions. If you commit to truly discovering everything you can about your partner, you'll never run out of things to talk about. Each and every day will be an adventure because all people have mysteries that even they themselves remain ignorant about or are not fully conscious of. This is why it's really important to have the right mindset. To have dreams about your boyfriend or girlfriend with another girl means that you have to be more mindful of your conscious mind to see what is wrong or to detect patterns. Dreaming about your partner cheating with your best friend. One of the worst feelings that you could ever get is the feeling of double betrayal when your partner and your most trusted buddy cheat on you. Talk about being stabbed twice. The good news is that this is often not what it turns out to be in real life. The good news is that this often doesn't mean what it looks like. Just because you dream that your partner and closest friend cheated doesn't necessarily mean that your partner is cheating around you in your waking life. This dream can mean that you have underlying feelings that you just need to settle down. The intimacy that you have with your closest friend is not the same as the relationship you're trying to build with your partner. If anything, in most cases, cheating dreams like this just highlight the disconnect between the comfort, acceptance, and belonging that you've developed with your most trusted buddy over a long period of time and your romantic partner. In many cases, we feel like we belong with our best friend than with the person that is supposed to totally get us. Do you see the disconnect? Do you see where the problem can arise? Dreams like this can also reveal anxiety or worry about the future because you're thinking, I want this new person to be my closest friend. I want my romantic partner to truly know me and understand me for who I am. That's fine. It's in our nature to worry about those things. It's in our nature to desire those things. But everybody has different timelines. Everybody wants to belong. Everyone wants to find meaning in their connections. Everybody wants to be accepted, especially in the deepest, intimate ways. That's why we have romantic flames in the first place. But everybody also has their timeline. So you have to wait for your partner. That's part of the respect that's needed in any kind of valid romantic relationship. But you have to let things take a life of their own. And this takes time and patience. You cannot rush it. Otherwise, you'll be putting on an unrealistic amount of pressure on that person. And guess what? Your relationship might suffer as a result. If you dreamed about your boyfriend, girlfriend cheating with a coworker, what does it mean? When infidelity takes the form of an office or workmate romance, money enters the situation. First of all, you have to work harder on your relationship. And no, this doesn't mean that it's his or her fault or that he or she um, is necessarily wrong. Instead, both of you just have to try harder. Oftentimes, you also have to put in the work. I know that's hard for a lot of people to accept, but relationships are two-way streets. You have to tackle questions like how forthcoming are you about your feelings? How honest are you when you're trying to communicate deep personal truths and dreams and fears with your partner? Are you scared that that person will somehow walk away if they find out something uncomfortable or unpleasant or even embarrassing about you? It all boils down to trust. The good news is if you're fully open and your heart is open, you will attract the right person. Unfortunately, there are a lot of little girls and boys out there. This is unavoidable. These people cannot handle a real man or woman. You have to accept that risk. It doesn't matter how good they look or how awesome they make you feel, whether sexually, emotionally, spiritually, or psychologically. It's all going to break apart sooner rather than later. If you cannot connect at a deep level of personal honesty, and I'm talking about the level that won't age, get fat, get addicted to drugs, refuse to take a job, beat you up, or any other sad realities of the twists and turns that relationships often lead to. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about stuff that's real. If you can't connect at that real level and you see all these signs and red flags, then you're better off looking for somebody else. You're better off waiting for somebody else. It doesn't mean that you don't have a good time. It doesn't mean that you can't have a good time while you're looking. But you have to be clear about your priorities. Sometimes it takes the form of a partner cheating with someone from work that enables you to see this because sometimes there's money involved. Where there is money, that's where our trust issues materialize front and center. If you are dreaming about kissing or cheating with someone from your previous relationship, what does it mean? If you have dreams about somebody from the past, and this can mean somebody from a previous relationship or someone that you've dated in the past, this can mean that you're craving or missing the positive characteristics of your ex. At the very least, you crave how you felt during that past relationship. You may not necessarily desire that person now, but you feel that there's something missing in your current relationship that you feel you used to get. But it doesn't necessarily, obviously, this doesn't necessarily mean that you want to get back with a person from your past. Remember, if you take them back, it's a complete package. You have to be at peace with what made you break up in the first place. But just because you see yourself having sex or kissing somebody from your past in your sleep or dream, doesn't mean that you just want to get back with them. It just means that there's something about your relationship in the past that you want to get to the bottom of. You want to zero in on that missing element and possibly introduce it into your current relationship, or better yet, use it as a filter when looking for new relationships. If you dreamed about your guy making love with a woman at night, what does it mean if you see your boyfriend or husband having sex with another woman at night? The nighttime element in this dream indicates a sense of desire and guilt. Maybe you feel that you really can't please your man. Maybe you feel that you dropped the ball when it comes to your past flames as far as sexual pleasure goes. And somehow, someway, you're insecure about pleasing your current partner. You have to let go of this insecurity. You have to let go of whatever guilt that you may have or some misgivings. The truth is, you have to let go of risk of loss for you to be able to focus on the intimacy that you can fully build with your present partner. Otherwise, this deep and profound insecurity, as well as sense of vulnerability, will eat away your self-esteem and ultimately find its way in your relationship, which will end sooner than you think. Do you have any other choice? Well, let your relationship be a mutual exploration. Allow your spouse or partner to lead and tell you what makes him feel good, but insist on your right to tell him what makes you feel fulfilled. Do you see how this works? It's a two-way street. It doesn't matter how awesome he makes you feel or how good he looks to you. He still has to treat you with respect. That means that it has to be a two-way street. The pleasure has to be at the same level of intensity going both ways. Otherwise, there's an uneven or imbalanced nature to your relationship, which, let's face it, usually starts out small, but eventually grows so big that your relationship simply cannot be sustained. It just blows apart. Obviously, you don't want to do that. What does it mean to dream of your husband having an affair or your wife having a lover? Pay attention to the signs and roles in this dream. This is especially true if you are just the boyfriend or girlfriend of the person in your dream. The fact that you have recast that person as your spouse in your sleep means that you are insecure about your current relationship's direction. The dream interpretation for this is that your mind is playing all these alternative scenarios if you pull the trigger and do get married. Make no mistake, getting married is one of the most important commitments you will ever make in your life. It is also one of the scariest. This is why a lot of people get cold feet. Doesn't matter whether they're guys or gals, they get cold feet. Many even decide to stay single forever. But the good news is you can overcome this insecurity by looking at the signals present in the dream imagery that you are experiencing. Where is infidelity happening in your dream? Are you there? Are you witnessing it? Also pay close attention to the name your significant other says when they climax in the dream. This may seem petty, or this may seem sad or alarming, but it actually leads to the interpretation of your insecurities regarding the future of your current flame. What is the center of your dream? Is it your partner achieving their pleasure, or is it you, or is it something mutual? Dreams about intimacy can beat up our conscious mind. I don't mean to lay out the obvious, but to dream these types of dreams is not good for our conscious minds. Dreams like these provoke feelings of fear, anxiety, and loss to the dreamer. Sometimes your subconscious mind is wired so that the brain can't help but think of worst-case scenarios or make up some impending disaster in your dreams. In other words, everything might be going well in your romance. You might have met, married, had kids, and put up an amazing home together. Maybe you're well respected in your community, you're enjoying enough money, and everybody seems to be happy. But then you have dreams of your husband becoming your boyfriend and having sex with another girl. What gives? Well, whatever there is going on, please understand that whenever there is stability, there is always an alternate reality. In this psychological place, we ask ourselves, what if? When this happens in your dreams, this means that you may be insecure about losing what you already have. Think about it. You sacrificed a lot and you put in the time and the work to build whatever you have. It really would be a shame to see it go up in smoke. The truth is, this doesn't have to turn into reality. Most dreams, thankfully, are not prophetic.